We want to turn to North Korea. Meanwhile, the U.S. is now delaying new sanctions on the Hermit Kingdom as both sides work to revive that summit between President Trump and Kim Jong-un, originally set for June 12th.
We're doing very well in terms of the summit with North Korea. Looks like it's going along very well. As you know, there are meetings going on as we speak. I think people want to see if we can get the meeting and get something done. If we got that done, and if we can be successful in the denuclearization of the Korean Peninsula.
Talks between both sides are set to take place here in the U.S. and in Singapore, where teams are now on the ground. President Trump tweeted about the talks this morning. He says this: "We have put a great team together for our talks with North Korea. Meetings are currently taking place concerning the summit and more. Kim Young-chol, the vice chairman of North Korea, now headed to New York. Solid response to my letter. Thank you," says the president. Joining me right now is a member of the House Financial Services Committee, Congressman Blaine Luetkemeyer of Missouri. Congressman, it's good to see you this morning. Thanks so much for joining us.
Great to be with you, Maria.
Do you think this summit should move forward?
Yeah, I think we're going to see this play out as it has in the last 2-3 weeks over the next several months, where it'll be 2 steps forward, 1 step backward. You know, the North Koreans are not going to come to the table and just roll over. They're going to continue to try and push and pull this president and this administration in all different ways to try and see what they can wrangle out. They're going to be testing the president. They've been testing for the last several years since he's been in office, and the previous administrations as well, with their nuclear activities. So this is going to continue to play out 2 steps forward, 1 step backward, and I think we need to have patience and be persistent, and if we do, I think at the end of the day we'll be fine.
All right, we'll see about that, because there seems to be lots of dealings behind the scenes. We'll wait for the June 12th summit. I want to turn to trade, Congressman, because the EU's top trade official set to meet with Commerce Secretary Wilbur Ross and Trade Representative Robert Lighthizer in Paris tomorrow in a last-ditch effort to secure exemptions from that steel and aluminum tariff, which are set to go into effect for the bloc on Friday. Brussels says it's prepared to respond with tariffs of their own. Should an exception be made for the EU in terms of the aluminum and steel tariffs?
Yeah, I think we can take a look at that. I don't think that they're the problem here, although they are the countries through which sometimes the Chinese are running their products through us, to us. So I think we need to we understand how this is all working. It's not a direct sale sometimes from the Chinese to this country. Sometimes they come in other ways through other countries, through other companies from other countries. And so if we understand that, that has to be part of this discussion whenever you're talking about the EU and any of the countries, whether it's Mexico, Canada, or anybody else in the world, is that these countries and some of the companies that are located there are used as fronts for the Chinese, so that they're dumping in this country right now. And we need to be watching that very carefully. This is why we passed the CFIUS bill this past week, which basically enables our government to take charge of and oversee some of these transactions of companies that from around the world that are purchased by the Chinese, in not just this country alone, but other countries around the world, so that we can keep the back door closed. So, you know, I think that has to be part of the discussion, and where that's all going, I'm not sure, but I think end of the day, that's got to be on the table.
Well, this is largely about China, I mean, and ZTE in particular.